welcome. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. But we are not currently streaming live online. There is some sort of an upgrade in progress with the modem, apparently. And so for a little bit, we will not be online. So we are, of course, still streaming or still broadcasting, I should say, on FM radio on 95.3. And I assume we are going out on Comcast channel 97 locally here in Manchester, but no online streaming, which means I also, because of that, because the internet is not functioning at the moment, I do not have this gentleman's theme music because I just get it online. But here he is. Mr. John Hopwood is here.
Hi.
Hi.
Is your voice hoarse today?
No. Why are you so far from your mic, though? There you go. That's a little better.
Who's the dame?
The dame?
Yeah, the one behind to your left.
I don't know if we say that anymore.
Is that a robot?
Where? Oh, you mean that head?
Yeah.
I don't know if...
looks like a dame.
That, well, for
70s
for people watching on Comcast 97, yes, that was Gonzo or Gonzolo. Created that. Yes. So here we are. So again, we are not, yes, that's all I know about it. Trust me, I have lots of questions myself, but that's all I know. So yeah, so we are not currently streaming on the internet, but I'm sure that will be back up shortly as soon as they're done doing what they're doing with the modem situation. But of course, we are, hello to everybody listening in their cars, as we say in this part of the country, during your afternoon commute on 95.3 FM. And you can give us a call today at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And I will see those because I'll see those on my phone, of course. So it's not as though we're completely cut off from the world. Today is, of course, Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. And I do want to remind you, of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan right across the street at 1000 Elm Street. For those of you watching on Channel 97, you can see I've got my wonderful Hop Knot shirt. We're very honored and privileged to have them as a sponsor. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have an assortment of craft beer. They have wine. They have trivia night every Thursday night at the Hop Knot, hosted by the great Bill Cini. Friday nights, they have live music. Grant Lampton doing a residency there at the Hop Knot. They have Sunday brunch. They have some wonderful things happening for Juneteenth. Oh, I think I just got the... I was looking out the window.
What was that?
I was looking out the window that's in our door. And I thought someone was giving me the thumbs up that the internet was back on, and then I realized
they were giving you the bird.
Right? Yes, they hate me. They hate me here. No. He was looked like he was telling someone how to find something. So I saw a hand moving around in the window, and I thought it was the big guy saying, "Thumbs up, we're back on online." But that's okay.
I sent a message out to Gonzo. Hey, do you have any filters? This one doesn't seem to be able to handle sibilance.
Sibilance. I think it handles your sibilance just fine. Oh. You didn't do your television show today, is that correct?
No, I did a Memorial Day special.
Oh, I see. So it was
special.
It was a pre-produced package?
Well, I was at the Memorial Day observance in Manchester, and I taped it.
Yes.
So half of it was that, and half of it was the meaning of Memorial Day from last week's show.
Yeah. Well, I hope you didn't wish anyone a happy Memorial Day. You know, that's very triggering to people like Nikki Haley. She gets very upset. She is very upset.
It's true, because it's not a happy day for veterans. But like the union leader, the newspaper here, which actually plays a role every 4 years in picking the president, on Memorial Day, they didn't have one thing about Memorial Day. New York Times, didn't bother either. Washington Post did, though.
Oh.
Because, Memorial Day is about the unofficial beginning of summer, which is, crap.
Right.
What can you do? This is America. But, Matt, it was in New Hampshire. New Hampshire refused to make Veterans Day to recognize Veterans Day as a 3-day holiday. And then that took off and became national, and they made Veterans Day the day it's supposed to be, November 11th, which was Armistice Day, because at the time, the World War I was the World War, the war to end all wars. It was an apocalyptic war, the likes of people had never seen the carnage. Well, they just had to wait for one more generation for it to be topped.
Yeah.
But I guess in 1971, I think, when, I'm not quite sure the year that they brought Veterans Day back. The 3-day holidays were all under Lyndon Johnson's administration, like late 60s. I think 68 or 60. 68 was probably the first year. But
The what holidays?
3-day holidays.
What's 3A? What do you mean?
Well, Memorial Day's a 3-day holiday.
Well,
you get Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, okay.
Those are federal government holidays. But when I was a kid, we celebrated Abraham Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday. But Abraham Lincoln's birthday, you found out when you'd go to the South. My father lived in Georgia in the 70s. That's not a holiday down south. And they had Robert E. Lee Day,
Yeah.
in some places. And so we had Decoration Day. I don't know if it was a national holiday until they created Memorial Day.
Mm.
But there was one in the South and one in the North.
Yeah.
The two different armies.
Right.
But, oh, yeah. The war we're still fighting. The war that goes back to the founding of the Constitution.
Let's see. So if you're just joining us, by the way, so our internet is down, but it'll probably only be for a few minutes. But we are, of course, still broadcasting on the FM band and on Comcast 97. But if you miss any part of, actually, I don't know if Comcast 97 is even working with the internet down, but we're definitely on FM.
Is anybody there can tell us?
Well, they're working on it now.
Oh,
they're doing some sort. So
they'll give you hand signals.
It'll probably, quite possibly, it'll only be for a few minutes. And then we'll be back up with everything. But I did want to mention too, if you're interested in participating with the big Hopknot Juneteenth celebration, which is going to be for that entire weekend, they've got a lot of things planned.
3-day weekend,
and they're I believe so, and they're still looking for business partners, businesses in the area that want to partner up. So if you want to do that, if you're interested in doing that, if you have a business, a service, a nonprofit, whatever it may be, get in touch with me and I'll connect you with Kenny and Trudy at the Hopknot. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. Or if you're interested in sponsorship here at WMNH 95.3, we've got some wonderful sponsors like the Hopknot. Of course, we also have Queen City Cabinetry, our friend Mike Pelopita, who's a big supporter of all the shows here. We have CGI Business Solutions, the OG of WMNH sponsors. They've been here since the very beginning, since before I was even here. So, again, best way to find out more about that, just send me an email, matt@mattconnerton.com, and would love to talk to you about it. Speaking of loving to talk to you about things, now you sent me something very
can we just go back
intriguing.
To Memorial Day?
You have more to say about Memorial Day.
Well, Memorial Day, you're supposed to remember the dead from wars.
Yes.
And, dead veterans. And for some reason, I told Mike Lopez, who's former alderman and Mr. Veteran, he enlisted so many tens of thousands of people here in Manchester.
I got to open a window. Keep talking. Yeah. Not that I need to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even understand Veterans Day. Now it's for living veterans. And Memorial Day is to memorialize the dead. And when Nikki Haley says that, she's right. Because this is the time a veteran, you'll start, you have a dream that you're in a cemetery, not a military cemetery, just a cemetery. And you're looking for the grave of your duty partner, the person, that's no longer here. You survived, they didn't. Dreams like that. There was a great, probably the best cultural artifact to come out of the Vietnam War on our side, if you can call it that, was Tim O'Brien's short story about a platoon in Vietnam. It's called The Things That They Carry. And one thing that's not mentioned, because it's after you leave Vietnam or wherever you were stationed, is the things that you carry are the dead. They are part of your life. So that's what Nikki Haley and other people are referring to when they say it's not Happy Memorial Day. But, you know.
Well, the problem, though, with what Nikki Haley did was with what she was criticizing Kamala Harris for is
well, she gave a terrible speech at the Navy.
Well, the vice president had also publicly wished people happy, enjoy your long weekend or whatever. But she had also,
which is offensive.
But she had also earlier on Twitter, because this was on Twitter, she had also earlier that same day tweeted out about the importance of Memorial Day and remembering what it's all about and whatnot. So the have a good weekend came later. So Nikki Haley is calling her unprofessional and unfit for office, and it's completely ignored. And by the way, Nikki Haley,
which one do you think that was the one that's really Kamala Harris's own opinion, and the one that wasn't written by her staff? The stuff, the boilerplate about Memorial Day. She's should have a happy Memorial Day. She doesn't. I don't know what. She was never in the military. Neither was Joe Biden. But Joe Biden had a son.
Oh, yeah.
Who was in the military.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as a Medal of Honor winner, the former governor of Nebraska, whose name I know. It's one of those things that you know their name and their face. They got him pouring drinks in a famous photograph during the New Hampshire primary. He dated Linda Ronstadt.
Hey, I got to see something here. So Peter White, I'm sorry, John.
I'm just saying. He never said he would never go against Bill Clinton for not going into the Vietnam War because it was so horrible. He would never blame anybody for not going in.
Peter White just posted on Facebook that the online audio stream on the website is working, but I don't know how that's possible because here it says connecting.
Well,
so how is this possible?
Are you doubting Peter?
Well, I'm pulling it up on my phone.
First of all, you've insulted all dead veterans now and their loved ones by interfering. And now you're desecrating Peter White. Oh, if there's only there's a crowbar over there, but I think it's secured.
It's not working on my phone.
How dare you doubt Peter?
He might. You know what? He might have. He probably said that. He probably made that comment before it had gone offline because it's not on my phone. The audio stream isn't working either. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense because here it says connecting. Yeah, he must have made that comment before they began their switch.
Nikki Haley, it's all politics.
Oh, Eric Gagnon
probably wants to run for office in 2024.
Eric Gagnon, Eazy-G just messaged me. The phone is not working too, Matt. That's right. I forgot about that. I completely forgot.
What happened?
We can't take calls when the internet is down because we're on a VoIP phone, which is internet based.
Oh, so this isn't ransom. You're not being held for ransom.
It's as though we're just completely disconnected from the world. There could be an apocalypse happening, and we wouldn't know.
I think we would know about that when we saw the flashes.
Oh, that's a great point, John. I hadn't thought about that. We would be aware if there were an apocalypse. You're right, but no one would be able to call us on the phone here at the station to tell us, though.
Well, Nikki Haley's getting ready for August when Trump assumes the presidency.
That's right. Yes, Attorney Sidney Powell. I think.
The person some people think is not.
Yes,
not my opinion.
No.
Don't sue me, Sidney.
Don't sue me, Sidney. That sounds like
Sidney. There's the one for the sibilance.
Sounds like the name of a sitcom or something. Yes, both
Tony Randall's dad,
and of course, former retired General Michael Flynn.
I almost A-bombed.
Yes.
What a disgrace.
Also, apparently, maybe they know something we don't because according to them, it's right there in the Constitution that Donald Trump can reassume the presidency in August and send Joe packing.
Sure, that's happened before, right? Can you name a time it has?
Well, everything's different. Everything's different now. There's Kyle Heavey. Everything's different now, John. We're talking about Donald John Trump, the great Messiah,
who took his blog down.
Yes, his very exciting. I'm kind of disappointed. I was going to sign up for it. What's it called? From the Desk of Donald J. Trump.
All you would get is all these pitches for money.
Yes.
Together. I had to block it as I had to put it as spam.
I wanted to. I was looking forward to enjoying some of his writings.
His rantings.
Yes, I was going to perform some dramatic readings of them, but it's already done. It's I saw somebody on Twitter comment that he's had kidney stones that lasted longer than Donald Trump's website. His blog site, yes.
Oh, the whole website's done.
Oh, yeah, I believe
I thought it was
so.
just his blog.
Well, there was a separate site because it was supposed to be this whole big social media thing. It was his new social media platform, which turned out to be just a blog, which now turns out to be dead. It's dead and gone. But
conspiracy.
He'll probably resurrect it once he reassumes the presidency in August. Yes,
he is a Christ-like figure, so resurrection, he's a resurrection artist.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
Just like the greatest American of all, Jesus.
Yes, absolutely. My favorite American.
Mine too.
Yes. Were it not for Jesus, we wouldn't have the Second Amendment.
That's true. I think that he personally wrote it.
I
inspired it.
He certainly inspired it.
I know. Everybody remembers when he took the assault rifle and drove the Democrats out of the temple.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Very well known.
It's one of my favorite Bible stories.
Me too.
Yes. It's all very, very exciting. But, speaking of exciting, I am very curious to ask you about the UFOs because you mentioned something to me in a text message about the Exeter incident.
Right. My stepmother, who's no longer with us.
Was she abducted?
She was abducted. She would be amongst the abductees. But.
So she's no longer with us. She's with the aliens.
No, she could be.
Right. She'd be being probed. So, yeah, very exciting.
But this is what happened. My father and her were in bed at night, and she started talking. So my father started talking to her. The alien abduction, she never left the bedroom. But my father, who believed in aliens, they both believed in aliens.
Yes.
I do too. So I was going to use a funny voice. Yeah. It seems logical with, when you understand the universe and that the Earth wasn't, created on October 23rd, 4004 BC, which, where the dinosaurs were roaming around at the same time as, Barney Rubble was playing Moses or whatever.
Right.
Just think of that. Barney Rubble is Moses.
Yes.
And what would be Fred Flintstone be? The brother Aaron, right? Just a quick aside.
I don't know. I hadn't given it any thought.
My favorite Bible story is when, the Israelites are just fed up with Moses and Aaron or whatever, and they're bitching a lot. And that really POs Aaron. I'm not sure. I think that Moses was up in the hills trying to seduce Noah's daughter or something.
Oh.
Being a Protestant, things are kind of fuzzy. But, Aaron was pissed. And maybe Moses had come back with Jebba Boo Boo or whatever her name was, strapped strapped to his hip or something.
Doesn't sound like a biblical name.
And they appealed to God, and God just opened up a big friggin' trench, and all those bitching Israelites right into the trough.
Honey Boo Boo's in the Bible for real?
Case closed.
Oh.
Now that's a great way to, this damn democracy. Appeal to a vengeful God, and he gets rid of the critics. And they went on their merry way. They probably cashed in that golden ass or golden calf, whatever, For, what do you get? What are airline points?
Oh, frequent flyer miles.
Whatever. But I think I saw it. Everything I know about the Bible I learned from Cecil B. DeMille movies. Because my formal religious education ended when I was 6 years old, when my grandmother was a Protestant, died. And we didn't realize my mother was a Catholic. She had no interest. She didn't go with us except on Christmas. I found out many years later. So it's Sunday, like 1965, 66. And everybody was a Catholic, and there was nobody to play with on Sunday morning. Everybody had to go to church. You had to wait till the afternoon, and there were no cartoons on.
Are you sure
Sunday mornings.
Are you sure, by the way, that your grandmother's dead, or could she have also been abducted?
My grandmother saw an alien, which is not an alien. She saw a UFO. I've seen a UFO. My sister and my grandmother saw a UFO.
Really?
It's not that. that uncommon.
Well, I've never seen one.
John Lennon saw a UFO.
Did he?
He claims to.
Oh.
But I'm just saying about alien abduction. This was in the early 70s. I think it was in Burlington, Vermont. And her experience happened. She was, there in the bedroom with my father on the bed, and he was talking to her. And he talked to her, and she was telling him everything that was going on. And
wait a minute. So just for clarification, so you mean she's describing what's happening?
She never left where she was.
So, but she's
describing the alien abduction
in real time.
Right, this is 1972 or 73, probably about 1973. Nobody really knew about this stuff, and then they moved to Albany, and she wrote the paper. She was at SUNY Albany. State University of New York at Albany. About 1975 or so, I think it'd be about 74, 75, she went to see Betty. Now, what's Betty's last name? Can you look up the Exeter incident? Exeter abduction. That's the first really recorded case of an alien abduction. UFO abduction.
Oh, I can't pull it up over here.
They actually made a TV movie.
Don't have any internet.
Exeter incident.
Yeah. See, my dad, I had heard about it recently because my father, who, by the way, was born in Exeter, New Hampshire, he had mentioned it during a recent call into the show because he was curious what my thoughts were on all of this. But we should mention, too, for people, the reason this has come up and the reason I shared out that article earlier is this month, any day now, there's going to be a declassified report released about what essentially we might learn what the government knows about UFOs and the prospect of alien life. And it may all be a dud. We know that UFOs are real because UFO, what it literally means is unidentified flying objects. So we know that there are unidentified flying objects. Are they actually from outer space? Are they aliens? That's what we don't know. But we might get some clues in this report, which could be released. It could be released today while we're on the air, for all we know.
Okay, I'm mixing up the Exeter incident. That's interesting that happened because I saw a UFO in 1965. I can actually date it. Betty and Barney and Betty Hill, who were from New Hampshire.
Barney and Betty, huh? That's funny because you mentioned the Flintstones a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah, Barney and Betty. Yeah. And they were quite famous. They were quite famous. If you're a UFO head, they were abducted in 1961. It was the first widely publicized report of an alien abduction in the United States. I got to look up the Exeter incident because when I saw the UFO, Johnny Quest was on, and that's so my stepmother went to see Betty Hill.
Really?
Yeah, she went to go see her because, when this happens to you, it's a quite significant thing.
I can imagine.
And so she went to see her, and she walked in. And this is before, there was no internet, kids, or anybody under the age of 40. There was nothing like that. You had the National Enquirer before they went after celebrities. Until I think Carol Burnett won a big settlement against them. They used to have things like mom kills kids, cooks them in oven and stuff.
Right.
And, aliens and stuff like that. But she went to see her, and there was a sculpture of what we would call an alien gray. And that's who she had seen.
Oh, no kidding.
Abduction. And this just wasn't out there at the time,
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of theories about an alien gray, that it's actually, people are having a digression. It's actually a fetus or something.
It does look like a fetus.
Oh, yeah, they think, when they're trying to understand the mechanism of what happens. Because this is happening to people. It's whether that they're really being physically abducted or not, or whether it really happened.
Yeah.
But with my stepmother, it happened all within whatever sense you can say. It's beyond the dream, I guess. But she wasn't physically abducted. But she used to have dreams, and I have some. I didn't look. I couldn't find her writings because I was going to show them to you.
Oh,
where she would be. She would dream, wherever she's going. She is in another world, which is quite like ours, but there's differences. And I've heard other people have had that same experience. Where you're on another world. And it's quite like this one, but it's not. So I'm just saying, for anybody skeptical, it's an experience that tens of thousands of people at least have had.
What did now you say she was describing the experience in real time to your father?
Yes, and I think he took notes because my father used to write too, so he had.
But do you remember some of what she described to him?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I couldn't find it. My sister might have it at her house.
Yeah.
And because after they both passed within 6 weeks of each other, so everything, all the writings are put in all these boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll try to find it. But I think it was, from what I remember, it was kind of what evolved into the standard abduction story. But I don't remember anything about she didn't be probed or anything. Like Betty Hill reports being probed. That they, through her navel, they put a needle and things like that.
Okay.
And that was in 1961 in New Hampshire.
Huh.
And interestingly, that it's something that we'd even mention now. They were an interracial couple. Which, at the time, because Estelle Parsons, there was a TV movie, James Earl Jones played him, and Estelle Parsons played Betty. Betty lived longer. He died early. I don't know if he was still alive when my stepmother went to visit Betty. But the point is, she goes to see Betty.
Mm-hmm.
She walks in, and there's the sculpture of the head, which is what we'd call an alien gray. And that's who she'd seen. And, they, hit it off. And so there's a paper that she wrote, too, for her university. If I remember correctly, it didn't go over too well, in 1970 plus 5 or 76 when she put it in as a paper.
In what way? People thought she was a kook?
People didn't write about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, my father, he was as eccentric as I'm as eccentric as my father. He wasn't, I'm sure he would encourage her to do that,
Didn't Jimmy Carter claim to have seen a UFO?
I don't remember that.
I know Jerry Brown did.
Anything that Jerry Brown would say, what'd they call him? They called him Governor Moonbeam.
Governor Moonbeam, yeah.
But if he did, it was so common. It's like I saw a UFO in 1965.
Yeah, describe that.
My father, my sister, I have 3 sisters. This would be the middle one. And my brother. We were working outside on a new stoop. And for people that know what a stoop is, it's kind of the porch that's not covered,
Yeah.
It doesn't go out very far. And it was dark. The dark was coming down. And we all look up. And this is what I saw. It looked like what at the time you'd call modern, a modern office building, which is just like, a rectangle, like 3 or 4 stories tall, square, with all the windows that you'd see in an office block, of the time, which it was the 50s that brought. We are in back of a glass somewhat skyscraper. It's 20 stories, which at the time was the tallest building north of Boston when they made it about 73.
Oh, really?
That's based on the Seagram building, which was 1958 in New York. That's a famous design that's replicated everywhere. It's a Bauhaus design, square, boxy, and stuff like that was being built, everywhere, including New Hampshire in the 1960s, the early 60s. It wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now. but it looked like a flying office block with windows, and they were lit up and stuff. And then we just all went. We didn't say a word to each other and went back to it. Years later, many years later, because you just don't talk about stuff like this.
Wait. So you saw this together?
We all did. My father, my second oldest sister, and my brother.
But then you didn't speak about it?
No, you just go back to what you're doing. You just look up, and then you're just doing it. Years later,
interesting.
After my father died, and and we're all together. My brother is in the Air Force. He worked black operations. I have to be careful what I say. Just like I noticed you mentioned Abel Archer again. That's something I can't talk about. And my brothers, and we're just talking. And I mentioned that, and my sister said, "You weren't there." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You weren't there. Grammy and I saw the UFO." And I said, "And you weren't even born yet." And so there used to be a field in back of our house, and bats used to go by it, which to a boy, that's so great. I'll never forget, we had a dying bat, and my grandmother was my father's mother. We lived in her house. Comes out, and she took care of that. We're all watching this bat dying and flapping around. She comes in, boom, and does it in. She was born in 1904. She'd been through everything.
Yeah.
So much. If you tell her or my grandfather or my parents about white privilege, they throw you out of the house,
Yeah.
But, so it turns out that behind the apple tree, which it's sacred to Celts, by the way, my grandmother's a pure Scot. That's where that's the portal to the other world, by the way. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
Because it used to be apple orchard there. But then the housing. So they're there and back in the apple tree in the field, and they saw a UFO. And this is what my sister said. She said, "It's the strange part was I saw it as a flying saucer, but Grammy, once again born in 1904, saw it as a flying cigar, like a dirigible."
That's
so
interesting.
They're seeing. Think about that. They're seeing a phenomenon. They are seeing a phenomenon.
Yeah.
But they're interpreting it in different ways.
Yeah.
To my sister, who's born like early 50s, a true baby boomer. I mean, even the early baby boomers that got a job and got to stay, retired early.
Yeah.
And where we all are, going to work till, they decide to take us behind the dumpster and shoot us. Well, yeah, it'll be an Amazon service in a few years, And... But when you hear about UFOs, like from the Victorian age on, they're dirigibles, flying cigars, they call them. So that's what she, late Victorian, she's born in the Edwardian age.
Yeah.
She sees it as a flying cigar. They both saw the same phenomenon, whatever it is, but they interpret it differently.
Yeah.
Because of what? They're born in two different cultures. My father used to try to impress on my brother and I how different the world was, like in 1969 than, when he was a kid. He was born in 1926. And, we watched the moonwalk. That was just purely fantastic stuff when my father, 1936. They were just hoping the Depression would end.
But I'm intrigued that, so she doesn't remember you being there.
No, she doesn't remember when I saw it. And neither did my brother.
Really?
And my father was dead. That's
interesting.
And I really don't believe you can talk to the dead. And once they go through the bardo, they're gone. And, yeah. But she had her own experience. And, she was a little girl, but she's with her Grammy, my grandmother, and they're out there. They see a UFO. But so my stepmother, getting back to her, she experienced like an alien abduction, but she never left where she was. So it's a real phenomenon. That's when, remember, you brought up UFOs, and I spun a tale about Pa and based on some 1950s movie I probably saw on night TV, where they seduce some dame in a heavy Chevy or some car. And because one of my favorite movies is American Graffiti. I love that movie. George Lucas, masterpiece.
That was a great movie. I remember my mother showing me that.
I watch it every year.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
I was only 3 years old. But I remember those cars and everything. And it's just so fun. If you've ever seen it, folks, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. And it's George Lucas. He was a hell of a director. And, so that's what I was saying. Why do you think they have to be in ships? But see, we interpret it that way.
Yeah.
That makes sense to us.
Mm-hmm.
My father was totally into Eric von Daniken and Chariots of the Gods and stuff. And I actually got into that too. Although I was far more skeptical than my father. My father was a salesman for most of his life.
Yeah.
And a salesman, like he says, a salesman or any, you can sell them anything. You know? If you're a good enough salesman.
Sure.
If somebody in the South, they'll have hawkers like at a Walmart. And they'll say, "Hey, we got these knives here, and who's gonna?" And they give the spiel. Who's gonna be the first person to buy it? Well, I bought the knives for $1 before they go up. I talked to my father after. He says, "Hey, they did it when I was there, and I was the first person to buy it too." So he's got the set of knives, and I do too. Well, we got it cheap, but they don't do that up north or in California. But I guess. The selling to the rubes is still a thing down south. I mean, that's Trump territory.
Well, we're going to take our break a little bit early because the internet just came back on.
So let's get on.
I'm going to play something, and while I have something, I know what I'm going to play. I'm not going to tell you what it is. This will be a surprise for everyone, but this will be a lot of fun.
Does that have to do with the pleasure saucer?
Not exactly.
Ooh.
But we'll play a little something, show some love to our sponsors, and then we'll be back online and broadcasting on the FM band. I think this is...
And Obama just said something about UFOs. We can talk about that.
Oh, yes, he did. Just waiting for this to load up here. Just want to make sure we're definitely back on the internet. This is loading a little bit slow, or slowly, I should say. Grammar, Matt. It's loading, but it's taking its sweet time.
Hey, did you hear the rumor is the new New Hampshire Republican gerrymandering plan will give them 19 seats in the Senate out of 24.
Geez.
Oh, you voted for, what's his name?
Governor Sununu.
Why'd you have to mention that name?
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Wow.
Welcome back, everybody. Usually I say we are well into hour number 2, but today we're actually just coming up on hour number 2. We took our break a little bit early. I'll explain why in a moment in case you're just joining us.
Folks.
Oh, very exciting!
He's
yes,
going to lie to you.
That would be a good story. Yes, cool story, bro. The young people say that now.
If you edit the tape right, we can get away with it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. No, we were not online for the first hour. We were only broadcasting on the FM band because we were there was an internet upgrade happening. But so hour number 2, we decided to take a break, come back early, and here we are in all our glory, both on FM radio and online. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
This is my AT&T phone. How's it sound?
Oh, it sounds pretty good. That's Crazy Joe is on the line with us. Oh my goodness.
Is he going to talk about UFOs or about himself?
Oh, I don't know if you heard. John Hopwood was asking, are you going to talk about UFOs today, Crazy Joe? Have you been abducted? Hello?
He's been abducted right now.
I think he got abducted.
It's about time.
Well,
we got some evidence.
Crazy Joe, no doubt, swept away. I thought I heard some sort of sound like a bzzz, like he was being beamed up to something. All right, well, nice to hear from Crazy Joe. Welcome, everybody. It is hour number 2 of Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. You can also go to mattconnerton.com for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, phone numbers, show archives, etc., etc. And hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online. It is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021, and we are live. You're waving your phone around, John Hopwood.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about UFOs and about what did your father have to say about the Exeter incident? I just read about it on Wikipedia. And I hadn't heard about it before, but I must have because, I thought of that Barney and Betty Hill were abducted, allegedly abducted in Exeter, yet it was near the Indian Head up in the White Mountains.
See, I don't think my dad ever, he's never seen a UFO. I don't think he had much to say about it other than,
he'd heard about it.
Yeah, because he's from that part of the state.
That's right.
He was born at the hospital in Exeter.
Were you born in Exeter?
No, I was born in Hartford, Connecticut.
That's right.
Yes,
I always think of the Exeter.
Yes. But my dad graduated from Exeter High School.
Well, I just looked up an incident. I was in England in '82 and visiting my brother, who was in the Air Force. He was a career lifer, and there was the Rendlesham Forest incident, which was near RAF Woodbridge, which it's an RAF base technically, but the USAF was there. And people were talking about that. I'd come back years later, and people were talking about that, where there was a claimed UFO sighting. But if you read it, you can read about it once again on Wikipedia, folks. The Rendlesham, it just went down on me, kind of like the pleasure saucer.
Oh no!
And going down
wow.
Is that the Glen
No,
Joliet?
that's
Glen Joliet.
No, that's not
Glen
who you
Joliet.
know. No, that's just a random sound that comes out of the computer. I don't know what that's about. But
I thought that was Glen Joliet of Joliet Street. Rendlesham, RENDLE. SHAM. Sham is in there because when you read about it, something happened, but then it seems like, and I think this happens with a lot of people, they run with it. Mm-hmm. It's like, I've seen it in the Army, I've seen it in life. People will tell you about something, and then you'll hear them tell the story again. And they become more central to the narrative, and it gets better. And then the third time you hear it, and you know how obnoxious I am. I'd say, well, that's not how you told it the first time. It's getting better and better, right?
Everyone's always the hero in their own story.
Right, and I guess Betty Hill, Barney died in 1969. She started elaborating on her stories to the point where some people, she lost all credibility.
Yes.
But, I believe there are phenomena. First of all, when you read about high-speed aircraft, starting like in World War II, there were bogies and things. World War II pilots, not just American or British, would report seeing things. Now, there was a phenomenon in the old aircraft where this ball of static electricity would form in front of the nose of a plane and explode. So there are all sorts of types of phenomenon that would happen. You played the... You played two by Captain Kirk, William Shatner, who I do plan on doing that show on Ward 13 about the evolution of his toupee. But yeah, it's very exciting, but I think it'd be a limited audience, and that's why Gonzo doesn't want any part of it.
By the way, let me just say for the record, my favorite Shatner toupee, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah.
Great toupe.
Yeah, that was an almost full toque that he was wearing at the time.
Yeah,
almost.
I think it really worked for him. He should have kept that.
Yes. Yeah, when he was unemployed, in the early 70s, I mean, he had jobs. He had some pretty pathetic toupes at that time.
Uh-huh.
But getting back to what we said, and I must say that was an inferior version of, of the Rocket Man. The one he did at that that sci-fi convention is so much better.
Well, he did one on a television show too.
That sci-fi
with
awards
with the cigarette.
Oh yeah,
my
it's
God.
the three people. We actually used that in one of our shows to kick it off many years ago. Yeah, look up William Shatner, Rocket Man. You won't believe it. That guy should be given an Emmy Award for life achievement just for having the greatest testicular fortitude of any actor. I mean, they always said that about Laurence Olivier, but he would try or do anything.
By the way,
he actually would and embarrass himself. But
hang on, John. I'm now getting reports that that the phone isn't working again.
UFOs.
Now we know why the phone wasn't working before because it's a VoIP phone. It's connected to the internet, but it should be working now.
UFOs.
So I'm going to see what happens here.
Well, it's an unidentified phenomenon. You could call me.
Well, I'm calling the studio line and it's not lighting up. I think the phone is down.
Well, there are forces, that we just don't quite understand. President Obama doesn't.
That's true. Maybe we weren't supposed to be. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, I'm sorry. Our phone is down, so we shan't be taking any more calls. Apparently, Crazy Joe. So the call didn't drop. It was it dropped on our end. Apparently, yes.
He was punished.
Right.
Because he was going to talk about himself instead of about these phenomenon. Next thing, I was wondering if Gandhi was going to call in next with his egregious faux Southeast Asian Indian accent. Or has he been arrested yet?
Oh, Bitcoin Gandhi?
Bitcoin Gandhi,
yes.
That's right. I always think of him as salty.
I just messaged Crazy Joe. I don't want him to think that we hung up on. He messaged me to ask me if he offended us in somehow. I said, no, it's the phone.
It's the UFOs. It's not the phone.
It probably is the UFOs. And I think, here's what I suspect happened because I asked Crazy Joe if he had ever been abducted. He probably has, and he's probably not supposed to talk about it.
He's probably abducted right at that point, and that's not even him.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it is, but not quite him.
The truth is out there.
Yeah, it's like the invasion of the body snatchers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
The original.
Right.
The original.
Right.
The second one sucked. Except even the nude scene wasn't as much as I remembered.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what. Well, that's when the nude scene lets you down.
Featuring the great-great-great-great-granddaughter of our second president, John Adams.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
And who would you rank, in terms of a thespian, where would you rank, well, in relation to each other, Sir Laurence Olivier?
Lord Olivier. They made him a lord.
Lord Olivier. I didn't realize that. And William Shatner. Which one would you rank higher?
I would put them in the same category because, most people if you're younger than me,
yes.
Remember Larry Olivier was supposed to die, and he lasted 25 years out of sheer will. So, and he had his third wife, and they churned out 5 kids. So, damn, and he's in a 95% tax bracket. So they were offering him $1 million, like to play Neil Diamond's Jewish father in the egregious remake of The Jazz Singer. I mean, he needed to support those kids. He's ready to drop dead at any moment.
Oh my goodness!
But when he was a younger actor, he didn't focus on film so much. He was considered very witty and fearless, and everybody talked about that. So you got to put Bill Shatner is not afraid to look vulgar and bad.
Hey, we're getting a call, so maybe the phone is back up now. Let's try this. We'll see what happens. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Is it Gandhi?
This is Mike Pellatella of Queen Sea Cabinetry, and I'm your proud sponsor.
Wow, Mike Pellatella.
Is it really him?
All this time I've been saying your name wrong. I didn't, but I do believe I'm suffering from adult onset dyslexia.
You sure this isn't an alien?
I just want to say, Matt, you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm going to give more money to the station
Thank you.
I just won the mini lottery of New Hampshire.
Wow, that's
fantastic.
Mini
lottery?
The mini lottery.
You got to
be in it to win it.
He said he wasn't going to do that.
Well, that's true.
bastard.
I know.
I wanna show the radio people and your lovely station that I've been a proud sponsor of that I am not a cheap man.
Okay.
That I am very gracious to you and your lovely staff over there. It's just amazing what you do. And I said once I won, I need to share the wealth and I need to share the love.
Oh, that's, boy, I'll tell you. Well, I always say wealth is love. Is it not, Mike Pelletota, or however you said it?
Well, I don't even know how to say my own name
cigar.
right now. I'm kind of having a few beers over here celebrating my victory.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Yes. Well,
waited a week.
Right. Well, you can have more than a few, if you just won the mini lottery. That's exciting. Do they pay you in small bills?
Did you win a mini?
It's over. Well, it's a one-time cash payment. It wasn't really that much. It was about $50,000, but I think it's more than enough money to be generous to the station that I love so much, especially the Matt Calverton show, which I am not pronouncing your name correctly either because I'm slightly
it's Covington. Covington.
Right. Perhaps you've had a stroke. Well, no, I think
Matt
that's
Covington.
Right. Well, something like that. It's I've heard my name pronounced many different ways.
And in Yeti.
Wow.
That's right.
by the way, it's a very sexy name. I wish I was called Matt Calverton sometimes.
Well, you can have your name legally changed, although from what I understand, there is paperwork involved and fees.
He can buy a Merkin with his $50,000 and appear like the Yeti, Matt Covington.
Well, that is true.
Oh,
yes.
And you'd be surprised.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of activity here at the Queen Center Mall, and moving furniture around. And my wife is, nagging me about this and nagging me about that. Sometimes I wish I never was married.
Well, oh my goodness!
Don't we all wish that?
Well, I've never been married, but I can only imagine what the pressure is like at the Queen Bee Mall. What did you call it?
Sunbeam Mall.
The Queen Bee Mall. Yes, I got the correct. You have to use me. Hey, you got a nice piece of. I mean, you got a beautiful woman there, and you should be married and invite Mike Pelletella and Queen City Cabinetry to the wedding celebration. That would be fantastic.
Right, and we'll have cabbage at the wedding. Right
cabbage. Oh yes.
Right from the tree.
Delicious cabbage, especially if it's made correctly.
Right. Cabbage right off the tree, Mike Pelletella. It'll be great.
The Dions can prepare it.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to call in real quick. I know you're busy and you had some technical problems. And
yes.
I hear this guy out there, Crazy Joe. I'm getting really sick of this guy with his stupid laugh. And I don't know if he thinks he's funny or entertaining, but I'm just going to have a little heart-to-heart talk with him. I've been talking to him on the phone. He's been calling me about all this recent success that he's having with you. And I personally think he's got a big mouth, and he's one of those big mouth guys from New York. And we're just down here in New Hampshire. We're just going to have to put him in his place.
Right.
It's up here in New Hampshire.
That's right.
Yeah,
up well, over, really. I mean, we're kind of over. Right, that's true. Yes. Wow. Well, be careful with Crazy Joe there, Mike Pelletella. He's crazy. It's right in his name. He couldn't legally be named that.
I've heard his reputation in other circles. Yes, he is quite crazy. But, once he talks to us good old country boys up here in New Hampshire, he just better behave himself and act like I'm sorry, getting slight dementia. Like us.
I didn't know dementia made you stammer. But yes, that's right. Mike Pelletella from
Panatella.
It's Panatella. I'm sorry. From
sounds like the Godfather. From
Queen Bee Cabbage Trees.
Yes.
I thought you said cabbage there.
Yeah, cabbage.
Yeah, like in money.
Cabbage. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of cabbage, although I should be. I am Irish.
Oh, I thought you were Italian.
No, Yeti.
No, well, I am of Yeti heritage. That's,
That's for your mother?
That's from my dad. How dare you?
Well, that's really fantastic, man. I tell you, man, you really got it together. And
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll teach that Crazy Joe a few lessons in proper human behavior, because I know that you have a part-time master's degree in psychology.
Yes, it's very, very part-time, but yes. Yes, I do.
Yes, so you are quite brilliant, and if anybody can handle Joe, it's you. With that said, you have a very, very pleasant day, and your co-host over there, he sounds like a very sexy young man.
Oh, he is?
No. I'm a very sexy old man.
Oh, well, but the very sexy is the point, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, very very good. And I'll be sure to listen to this show on your wonderful podcast there. It's
yes.
The technology is just incredible. I heard one of your shows, and it was just coming in so wonderful.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Yes. That is good to hear.
Yeah, I don't know who's your IT guy over there, but he's pretty brilliant. I'll have to take him out to lunch one time. Matt, you have a fantastic day from Mike Pelletelli here at the Queen City Mall in downtown Concord. I don't know if it's Concord or...
It's Manchester.
What town is this anyway?
Manchester.
I got
Queen
the dementia.
City.
What town is this? Concord
Queen
or
City.
Manchester, where I am?
It's actually South Concord.
In the Queen City.
Okay,
Yeah.
very
You mean the
good.
place
I'll look
is
that up
actually
on the
South
map.
Concord?
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Thank you, Mike. Take care.
Hey, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Wow, what a nice call from Mike Pelentella from Manchester.
The Queen Bee Mall.
In the Queen Bee Mall. Cabbage Tree something.
Are you
very nice.
Serious?
That was a nice
Sam?
surprise.
Are you serious?
You're still testing the sibilance, aren't you?
That you don't know why it's called the Sunbeam Mall?
I know why. See, you think I don't know anything about history. I know General Sunbeam. He won the war. If it wasn't for him, we'd all be speaking Venusian right now or something, speaking of aliens. And that's why we call it the Sunbeam Mall, because of General Sunbeam, the greatest military mind since sliced bread.
You're confusing the Sunbeam Mall with General Nutt.
General Nutt?
General Nutt, Tom
Wow.
Thumb's friend.
That guy was crazy.
Rival.
Oh.
They were sexual rivals. You know, they were little people that worked for P.T. Barnum.
Thank you for using the correct vernacular, by the way.
Didn't they have Sunbeam bread when you were a pup, a Yeti pup?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's named after that.
Yeah, well, I think that's very disrespectful to the memory of General Sunbeam. We just had Memorial Day.
General Nutt.
How dare you?
Excuse me. It's Commodore Nutt.
Okay.
How could I forget?
How could you forget General Sunbeam?
He was
What are you, Kamala Harris over there?
He was born
Nikki
out.
Haley's going to get mad.
Yeah, he's born out where they have all those drums of the toxic chemicals with a half-life of about 55,000 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, here's Salty Gandhi calling.
You think so? You think so?
We can bet.
Salty Gandhi? Let's see. Let's
Bitcoin Gandhi.
Bitcoin Gandhi. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Eazy-G. Finally, the phones are working.
Yes, the phone is working. Yes. How are you, Eazy-G, our intrepid entertainment reporter?
Not too bad. I got some breaking news to tell you guys.
Oh, breaking. Wait, you have
Gavin McLeod died.
Oh, is that
of the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Well, that wouldn't count as breaking news because that was that happened yesterday, I think.
Depends on how you break.
That's not the breaking news, is it, Eazy-G?
No.
Oh, good. Well, here. Before
up
you,
yours, buddy.
Well, before. Oh my goodness! How dare you? Well, before you tell us, Eazy-G, I've got your breaking news music. Here we go.
Excellent.
Wow. I feel like belching.
Yeah, apparently there was been some more or less firings at the World Wrestling Federation. That Vince McMahon's been getting his red pen out. I can't believe somebody's let go. Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm. That surprised me.
Lana. Ruby Riott. But Braun Strowman, was this in the WWE Backlash? He was a Universal Champion last year.
Yeah, he's
what
a big deal.
What do you think of that, Matt?
He's a big deal. They also let go Aleister Black, which was a big surprise because that guy's a future star. That guy's a star.
What are they thinking?
I'll tell you what I think they're thinking because I don't know if you saw this. They also just let go about 60 of their office staff. And
yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, you know what they're doing. So that guy, Nick Khan, who Vince hired basically to run the corporate side of WWE, I think they're getting ready for it's been the rumor for a while. I think they're cleaning up their balance sheet. I think they're tightening up. I think they're getting ready to sell. I think they're going to sell to NBC Universal eventually, to Comcast.
What does that mean for the Peacock there?
Well, that's who owns Peacock, so that's.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that mean for Triple H and Stephanie? to help out.
Well, hopefully they'll still have jobs, but I think a lot of those people are going to get replaced by Comcast employees.
Yeah.
Triple H, Stephanie, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Why duplicate?
Right. Well, that's the thing with these office personnel they fired. A lot of them were doing redundant tasks in different departments. Oh, Scott.
Yeah, Triple H has been there 25 years.
Scott Robinson says they're getting ready for the return of the Hulkster. I'm skeptical.
No.
I'm skeptical.
But I wonder if they're getting rid of some of these wrestlers because they got to. Soon they're going on the road next month.
Yep, they're getting back on the road. They're going to go back to live events.
And that costs a lot of money.
It does. They are the luckiest company in the history of the world. They signed 2 enormous television deals just a little bit before the pandemic, and then this deal moving the WWE network to the Peacock network, which is owned by NBC Universal Comcast. That was another $1 billion deal there. I mean, they are the most profitable they've ever been. It's incredible.
Yeah, if they are, why can't they pay the wrestlers?
Because they want to be rich.
They want to be richer. Yeah. They want to sell.
Aren't some of these guys and girls?
If they're going to sell the company,
I got an incoming call. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, Eric.
Is he coming on tomorrow?
Yeah, well, he's going to be. I think he's going to be Skyping in. He hasn't been feeling well again.
Oh,
and he wants to, but he does want to do his entertainment report tomorrow. He messaged me earlier and was asking, is Christian Lacoste, also known as DJ Reckless, doing every Sunday at the 603 Bar and Grill, which I believe he is. So Eric is going to be adding that to his entertainment report. So, Christian, that's great news for you if you're listening. We have another call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Charles Richardson. What's going on?
Charles Richardson. How are you, my friend? From the Charles Richardson Show.
Bad.
Yes.
So I want to comment a little bit on the wrestling. So, yeah, they let go about a dozen wrestlers.
Yeah.
And some of them shocking. One of them also was Keith Lee from NXT.
I didn't know that. That must have just happened.
That was on the side note. But Keith Lee was released right after those other 5 or 6 wrestlers were fired.
Wow.
I was told, yes, they're looking to, I guess, get rid of sell WWE over to NBC.
Yeah.
Which would be on NBC Universal, which would be my company. But I'm also being told that Vince might be stepping down, and Stephanie, Shane, and Triple H may be taking over. Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking is they're going to sell half of the company, keep 50.1 shares. They'll still have the lead, but they're going to still maintain control. Because I don't understand why Vince, with all this money he's making, he's a billionaire, why he would not keep it in the family, why he would sell to NBC.
Right.
Because if you know, networks that own wrestling companies don't do very well.
Yeah, that's true. We saw what happened when Turner owned WCW, and and there's another example of that too. I'm forgetting what it is though. When Spike TV had a share of TNA, right? They were paying a lot of the bills for TNA, and that didn't really go very well.
Yeah, well, TNA also sold half of theirs to another shares program, so it's like they were already in trouble by then anyway. They kind of did themselves in.
Yeah.
But WWE, they're the alpha. And for them to go ahead and just sell, either the price is just going to be so extremely high that Vince is like saying, that's it, I can just sit around and do nothing and, live in my riches, which doesn't sound like Vince.
No.
Well, he's 75 years old.
So I'm not believing that this is all for NBC, but if it's not for NBC, what is it? Because these, Keith Lee and Strowman and Aleister Black, those are some high-profile wrestlers.
Those are big stars.
That's people that have made an impact in this company. And I'm not talking about 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm talking about just past WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. They're in the primes of their careers. Yeah, that really surprised me. Well, you know what too is so weird about it. So when AEW started up, all of a sudden you had WWE trying to lock up all these wrestlers into these contracts just to keep them away from AEW. And now here we are. They're releasing all these people.
Yeah, so you don't want, when you sell, if you don't have those contracts.
Yeah, and again, that doesn't make any sense because
better
you're
for the company that buys.
Right.
AEW. You're fueling the competition. So, and these are not wrestlers that can't wrestle or they're past their prime if they lost touch with the fan base.
Right.
They just enhanced Strowman's entrance. You don't do that to somebody you're going to release.
Yeah, isn't that strange? Yeah, it is so strange.
So
yeah.
I'm very curious to see what happens next with WWE. I am a wrestling fan, so I'm kind of curious to see what happens. I can almost guarantee you, as soon as that 90-day non-compete clause is up, Strowman's going to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair is probably going to AEW, and I think Keith Lee might go to AEW. There's a long shot with Lana and Ruby Riott and a couple of the other ones, but I think those three, the three big men, I think they're going to taking a shot over there at AEW because they're picking up all ex-WWE people that have been recently released.
And they've got the money. They've got the money to do it. They have more money than Vince. What were you going to say, John?
Well, the lawyers might be dictating this because of antitrust, you know? You don't want one network hogging everything.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like their property.
There's a point in time,
they go an asset.
WCW
they go up.
kind of overpaid at one point in time, and as much as I'm not too fond of AEW. I mean, I've always been loyal to WWE. You kind of stay loyal to one of them. You don't kind of like, I like AEW and WWE. I guess some people do, but I don't. And it's like they may be starting to pay over what their supposedly their budget would be. Because they're just now starting to get fans back in the building.
Right.
They're just now starting to get back to touring. Are you going to pay too much for these wrestlers to where all of a sudden you start losing money?
Right.
So it is going to be interesting to see. It's a good start to this story, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Big surprises today, that's for sure. I didn't know about Keith Lee. That really stuns me. I don't know.
If they go ahead and sell the NBC before the week is up, or before the month is this month is up, I'll be even more surprised.
Oh, I would too. I don't think it's going to be that quick. But I remember when the network, when WWE Network first went to Peacock, that the rumor then was, within 5 years that it was inevitable. And apparently Disney was really mad because Disney wanted to they wanted to buy WWE, but they kind of gave up, I guess, from what I've read. I mean, this is all rumor and speculation. They kind of gave up on that prospect when they saw that the network was going to Peacock, because then they were like, oh, NBC's going to end up buying them. We're kind of out of the running because Disney had expressed an interest. But yeah, it's fascinating to watch.
I don't see Disney being involved in wrestling. Where they're going to have a cartoon Royal Rumble where Mickey comes out in like this gear that Triple H wears, and Goofy comes out in John Moxley uniform. Like, I don't. I think it's going to be more of a joke than anything. Disney owns WWE.
May not be the right fit. You're right.
Right. Anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and throw my 2 cents there.
All right, Charles. Thank you so much for the call, my friend.
Yep, take care.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, that was Charles Richardson from The Charles Richardson Show. He's live tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. on Raw Talk Online. And, of course, you can watch on Facebook. Please give his show a like on Facebook, The Charles Richardson Show. So he's live every Wednesday and Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. He's down in Florida.
Oh.
Yes. That's interesting what you said, though, about the lawyers might be encouraging WWE to get rid of some of these people because of antitrust.
Well, NBC has them for 5 years. That was signed earlier this year.
Oh, the Peacock Network, yeah.
For $1 billion for 5 years.
Yeah. Why
they would need the asset itself, I don't know.
Yeah.
But McMahon's 75 years old. He could... Anybody that age could die tomorrow, and they've lived a very full life.
Yes.
So estate planning, I'm sure this guy has batteries of lawyers, and they've done his estate planning. He's got the daughter married to, what's his name?
Triple H.
Yeah, who's from Nashua.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Levesque, isn't that his original name?
Levesque, yeah.
Levesque, right. And then they have 3 daughters. You have no, I don't know how his trust, McMahon's trust and all that. Is he going to leave it all to his daughter and his son-in-law? Is he going to leave it so that the grandchildren have it? Do they want to even inherit it? Mm-hmm. Think of there's taxes and Donald Trump's not president anymore. Right. And you've got, Joe Biden is planning to tax the living hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I'm all for that, but I'm not rich. So, but,
right.
We don't know what's going on,
Yeah,
he has to pass it on. When you're 75, I've known many people, even if you're really robust and everything, at 75, you really start going downhill for a man after that. I've just seen it in my life at times. I mean, it's even without major health problems.
Yeah.
You were, because somebody like McMahon could have like a middle age for a long time.
Right.
So I'm sure, a guy like that is probably taking excellent care of himself.
Well, on his 70th birthday, he was on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Right.
And
but he's not ignorant about knowing about what happens to people. He's not a dumb man at all.
Right.
So at 75, he's got to really be thinking about, his estate and what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Who knows what the economy is even going to be like in a year from now?
Yeah.
I mean, everything could disintegrate.
For the longest time, the assumption had been that Triple H and Stephanie would be running it after Vince is gone. But who knows?
Yeah, but see, now you have NBC, so you have redundant staff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You could make a deal that they have an office. In Hollywood, I used to know Hollywood industry. You get kicked, you get fired, and they give you an office on the lot, and they call you. If you are a big executive with one of the studios, the turnover was tremendous.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you get fired, and we'll give you an office, your bungalow, and now you're a producer.
Yeah.
And so you could give them one of his Triple H and the wife. A deal like that or something.
Yeah.
But, these people aren't hurting for money.
No.
But taxes. The difference between the rich and us, what is it? F. Scott Fitzgerald said, the rich are different from us. And Ernest Hemingway, his friend, said, yeah, they have more money. And it's about it. But, they think in terms of generations, Mm-hmm.
True.
We're not thinking in terms of generations.
Right.
Most people are thinking about how to get through to the end of the year or
Sure.
to the end of the season.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But
there's just this orgy of consolidation in the entertainment industry, driven by the stock market. There's lots of loot out there. Mm-hmm. Why not shake the money tree?
That's right.
But you got to protect that money.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. It's Paulie C. from Retro Spectrum Radio.
Paulie C. from Retro Spectrum Radio. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
Very well.
Is that Mr. Hopwood I hear in there?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, John.
You're sounding very chipper today.
He does sound chipper.
Yeah.
I'm chipper because I just punched out and tuned into the world's greatest afternoon drive radio show.
Wow, thank you.
I thought it was because you might have been kidnapped by aliens.
Ooh, yes. Have you ever been abducted by aliens, Paulie C?
Just once.
And how was it for you?
It was all right. They bought me a few drinks, rolled a couple of fatties, and took me to Jupiter.
Wow, all the way to Jupiter. That's nice.
Just like 2001.
Yep.
Wow.
We also made a stop at Uranus.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh.
So, Mr. Hopwood, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Would you be willing to put a Friday night aside and come join us for an episode of Retro Spectrum Radio where we can talk like nothing about anything but movies?
That would be
we
fun.
We can talk about movies.
Okay. Sure.
Awesome.
Just name
and
the Friday.
I also want you, if you have it within you, I would like you to get a song list together of 25 of your most favorite songs ever.
Oh, okay. Are we talking about pop
All right.
songs?
It doesn't matter what genre of music it is. I just like to gather our guests' favorite songs and maybe throw a playlist together while we're chatting for the 2.5 hours. You know?
Okay. Well, that's very easy.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try to. Maybe we'll do the night. Maybe that night when we're on, we can either do something like movie soundtracks as the music that we're playing for the night. Why don't we do that? Don't make a song list. We'll do movie soundtrack songs, and we'll talk about the movies that they're from. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be good. I have some ideas about that. I was just thinking about that. I'm rewatching one of my favorite movies. It's a cult film called Electra Glide in Blue. And it was the only film directed by, what's his name? His name escapes me, but he was Chicago's music producer, and he wanted to make a movie. And the members of Chicago actually are in the movie.
Oh.
And there's a concert in it, but it stars Robert Blake. In one of his, it's a really interesting movie. I'll send a link to you and Matt because it's
do that.
One of those classics of of the early '70s when Hollywood was the studios had collapsed, nobody knew what to do, and so they made interesting movies.
Well, with Robert Blake, you can't go wrong. So that's got to be interesting.
No, he's great in it too.
What is he?
Absolutely.
Is he? He was acquitted, right, of murder?
Acquitted of murder.
Yeah, he was. I think he lost the civil suit, though,
Yes.
Matt. Is that right, Sean?
Oh,
Yes, he did. Because in a civil suit, they had the wife of the guy who was accused on the stand, if I remember correctly. And of course, she can't testify because she's the wife in a criminal suit. And they asked her, in your heart, do you believe that they did it? And she said yes, and, or she said something like that, and that's what sank him. But in the criminal case it just wasn't there. Robert Blake, if the people don't know about it, he was married to this woman who was a notorious hustler. She'd been hustling Christian Brando, Marlon Brando's son. She was a person that would marry people, and they used to call it Lonely Hearts scam.
Okay.
Which, you get Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah.
Hearts, where people used to, women would be looking for love, so to speak. But she'd been looking for love with many, many people. She was a well-known con man, if we can use the term con man for her. And she got pregnant. She was seeing Christian Brando and Robert Blake at the same time. And she tried to get Brando to marry her, and he wouldn't. It turned out to be Blake's kid, the DNA testing, so he married her. But Christian Brando is on her answering machine and said, somebody's going to kill you. Not me. They wouldn't let that go into evidence.
Interesting.
But he took her to lunch, and they got out lunch, and he said he forgot his pistol at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So he went back, came back, and she was dead. And the gun wasn't. The gun didn't. She'd been shot. Didn't match. The gun didn't match the gun that killed her. It was no physical evidence. He hadn't done it.
Yeah.
So they brought in 2 witnesses who were stuntmen that said he solicited them to kill her, but they didn't kill her. And on the stand, one of them said that the police, the government was tunneling under his house.
Really?
And it turned out, both of them had busted, and this is a common tactic amongst DAs. They drop the charges so you testify against somebody.
Huh.
So the case was a bunch of crap.
Huh.
But,
Interesting.
in a civil suit, it's not like a OJ's case, which pretty much,
Yeah.
I think I've told you the story about that, but I'm not going to say it on the radio because I know somebody that was on.
I just love the whole I forgot my gun. Honey, wait here. I forgot my gun at the table. I'll be right back. It was actually holding down the $30 tip that Robert left.
Well, Piers Morgan did an interview with him, and you just watch him. He's a guy that's stuck in the 50s. He's a very talented actor.
Yeah.
But but he's stuck in the 50s. You know, all the lingo's from the 50s, and he's crazy as hell.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with him. I didn't see that one, but I've seen interviews with him. Yeah,
but it's like they say, there are all sorts of guys that wanted to kill this woman, but you know, it's just in a criminal case. You got to prove something. But L.A.
Yeah, and I just looked it up too. And Robert Blake did not go to jail for his civil suit. He's spending his twilight years out of the spotlight.
Right, he was worth about $20 million, but it just disappeared.
Yeah,
right.
And he declared he was bankrupt.
Well, nobody wants him anymore. You know.
I think they said they gave it to. Oh, I bet somebody. He was in. I bet directors, somebody like Tarantino would use him. But you know, he had a hit TV show and he walked out of it. The one where he was like the mayor of hell or something. He just walked out. He was a very strange guy. If you watch
Did you ever see the interview with Howard Stern where he was interviewing Robert Blake and Robert Blake got pissed off and he was very close to kicking his ass on the air?
Yeah, I bet even he's 5'6", he's probably going to die.
I remember hearing about it. I don't think I've ever actually heard it.
Yeah,
or
Matt, you got to check it out. Robert Blake gets all upset. He goes, "What am I, you monkey?" I mean, he's like he totally did a Joe Pesci on him. You know? I'm here to entertain you.
Yeah, it's just like with Piers Morgan. You know, Piers Morgan thinks he's gonna just come across the desk and beat him up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a combination of Vince McMahon and Joe Pesci at the same time. So ready to climb over the console and kick Howard's ass.
Wow. Well, hopefully he didn't leave his gun in Howard's studio when he left.
Right. Well, you know, Ronnie the limo driver, that 4-foot tall guy. He came in to break things up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good.
Well,
good.
You know, he's just about a foot. Blake's about a foot taller than him.
Yeah.
But
right.
mean.
They sicked Howard's Little Rascal on the Little Rascal.
Yes. Yes.
But he talks about his childhood. If you watch the Piers Morgan, where basically his parents loathed them, but he made money for them. You know, because he was a child actor.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, very
now,
good.
anyway, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, John. If you can, try to private message me a list of movies that you know have a good soundtrack, and I'll get a whole couple of segments of music together, and we can discuss those movies on the air. All right?
Okay. Yeah. Because there are some movies that are just influenced by music. You wouldn't. They'd be unthinkable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It.
All right.
All right, we're going to carry on.
All right, Paul. Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
You bet. See you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we're not necessarily talking about musicals, but like
right.
Easy Rider without the music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was, of course, Paulie C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C, which you can hear every Friday night beginning at 7:30 p. all the way to 10 p.m. here on WMNH 95.3 FM. And I have the honor and privilege of being one of Paul's co-hosts on that show. And we have another call. Busy show today. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Eazy-G. I had to take an important phone call. So I'm back now.
Yes. Now, while you were on your call, had you been abducted by aliens?
No, but it's funny. They talk about that all the time on the what's the name of that
Wrestling
show at 10 o'clock on GIR. The Clyde Lewis. He was always talking about UFOs.
Does he?
But he was on fire last night. I happened to wake up around 1:15, but I said, no, I'm not getting up. So
he was on fire?
But I listened to a few minutes of it, and he was on fire last night because he was talking about all the food shortages and how his wife went to the store, and she couldn't. I mean, he went to the store and couldn't get distilled water, and there wasn't any water in the whole store, and he was just playing it up.
Yeah.
So he said, don't forget to get my food buckets.
Yes.
What are you going to do if there's no food in the store? Or no, oh my God, I was laughing. Then I turned around and went back to bed.
Right. Where
he was on fire. Oh my God, he's in his food buckets.
Well, if he was on fire, I think food buckets would be the last of his issues. I would want a fire extinguisher.
What about Jim Baker has a nice deal on
End of
Times food?
Yes, that's right. The Jim Baker food buckets. They're probably from the same company. They just do like a white
probably.
label. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the AEW picked up that guy who used to be a Hall of Famer, WWE, Mark Henry.
Yes,
not to wrestle though.
Right, to be a commentator.
But to do other things.
I did see that. Yes, I did see that. That's good.
But it's funny, though, if you remember now, Randy Orton went around and embarrassed The Big Show the big show, like you were to say.
It's the big show.
And he embarrassed Mark Henry. Remember he was walking around, I don't know if you saw that, on the...
he was on a Segway,
on the
I
wrestling.
think. Yes.
It was back when I used to have the Raw channel, but I don't have that no more.
You used to have the
Raw? Remember that? He was going around
Raw
embarrassing
channel?
all the old-timers.
Yeah, the Raw channel. Yes, I do remember that. Well, Randy Orton is the legend killer.
Right, but the guys on the Raw channel, but something like that follow later on the network there, the Peacock, and he seems to be a good guy now, hanging out with that Riddle guy.
Matt Riddle.
He even used his move the other day.
I like Matt Riddle very much. They'll probably release him from his contract.
They're trying to become a babyface, I guess.
Yes, a babyface.
But I wonder if those guys that just released, I think they have to wait 90 days, but I wonder if anybody will. Well, I think Lana definitely signing with AEW, don't you think? Her boyfriend's over there?
Any of them, yeah, that's right. Her husband, they're married. Her husband, Miro, works for AEW. Yeah.
They just had their big pay-per-view Double or Nothing, I guess, and what people said it was a good pay-per-view. Jenny
and I watched. We went on the YouTube, and I found one of the matches from it that I wanted to see because I don't really watch much wrestling. I'm actually more interested in the business of wrestling than actually watching wrestling at this point. But we did watch the Stadium Stampede match from Double or Nothing, and it was quite fun. Quite fun.
Yeah, they were getting good reviews.
Yes.
But AEW is going to be trying to go on the. They're actually going to be going on the road too. So.
Yep.
But they got to be careful not to pick up too many old, or maybe not old, but guys that used to work for WWE that really didn't work good for WCW.
Right. Yes. Yes, I don't know.
They gotta be careful.
Yes, you're very ageist, Eazy-G. You don't like the old guys.
No, but some of those guys aren't old. But I'm saying they gotta be careful not to pick up too much WWE talent.
Right.
People think of WWE Part 2 over there.
Well, as Charles Richardson was pointing out too, how many of these people can they afford to pick up? They can't just sign everybody that WWE.
But I thought you told me that guy had more money than Vince McMahon.
Oh, he does. He does. The Khan family, they have more money than Vince.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're very wealthy. Yeah.
Vince got it all from himself. Well, he inherited from his father.
I hope they're not saving money so they can bring back John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Those very part-timer guys I can't stand anymore. I used to be a big John Cena fan, but
yeah.
I'm not a fan of him anymore. If he could want to come back for a big payday, then leave again.
Now you can't see him.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar, I've never been a big fan of him. I know a friend of mine used to work with the New Arena. He's a big fan. He said Brock Lesnar brings the fans in.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they are saving him for SummerSlam against the head of the table, Roman Reigns. That would be a good match.
Yes. Now, what's happening tomorrow?
I'm sorry, not him. I mean the guy on Raw with the five lovely ladies. Now they're calling him the new Godfather. What's his name? Help me.
On Raw? I don't know.
The Raw champion.
Who is the
MVP's guy?
Bobby Lashley, is it?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley.
Oh, okay.
That's a rumor match. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and then the rumor for SummerSlam is John Cena and Roman Reigns.
I can see that.
Those are rumor matches.
Now, what's happening tomorrow?
I'm done making the list of all the pay-per-views of WWE because it seems like every month they change their mind of the pay-per-view name and then the date. So I'm only going month to month now.
Now, are you?
I had it all figured out the whole year, but then it's all scribbled. I hate to scribble things.
I know you do. If only you had a tablet that you could enter all this information into.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, Eric, so tomorrow...
But, one last note there before you run out of time.
Sure.
I did reach out to the one and only Amanda McCarthy.
Right,
I guess she's checking her calendar. She'll get back to me, and I'll let you know what time she's available because she says you definitely want to come on for that final hour.
Yes, and tomorrow...
To be announced.
Tomorrow, are you Skyping in, or are you joining us in studio, or what's happening tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I'll Skype in because the weather's a little iffy.
Oh, I heard we're having a blizzard.
So thunderstorms or...
Oh.
I hate to be caught out in the bad weather. So in this day and age, it's bad weather or it's too hot. I can Skype in. I set that up because I got this new phone, so I said I better check it for it. And it's all set. It wouldn't be all set if it was today because the Skype was off.
Right.
Because now we're going big.
I'll be Skyping in right around 4:30, and we'll Talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Maybe you
And
could
for
ask.
now, that's about it.
Maybe you could ask Eazy-G about his lip syncing scandal.
Right. I didn't know he
yeah.
had one. That sounds terribly scandalous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little known, but it's very well covered up. Unlike his torso in summer.
By the way, before we run out of time, just briefly, I do want to say hello to everybody in our Facebook live chat today. People had to join us late, of course, because we weren't the first hour. We were not streaming live because there was a bit of an upgrade going on with the modems and such. So we were only on FM. But if you missed the first hour, of course, it will all be in the archive that will go up and be available just a little bit. But hello to Rob Dion, of course, from Through the Stage Door, which you can hear on WMNH, and of course, he's the morning show entertainment reporter every Thursday morning.
Who pushed Eazy-G up?
That's right.
Eazy-G just couldn't hack it in the morning.
Couldn't hack it.
No.
Well, and Eazy-G does not play the keyboard. He's a drummer, so that didn't work either. Christian Lacoste is in the chat room. Hello. Dan Lavasser says, I realized today I don't own a radio, referring to he wasn't able to hear the first hour. Jenny is in the chat room, of course. Melanie La Liberté joins us. Let's see. Just want to make sure we don't miss anybody in here. We're not going to go through all the comments because we're
Any
almost out of
abductions
time.
from...
Not so far. DJ Midas is in the chat room. Midas is a top fan. He says, I'm very excited for Trump to get sworn back in this August. So cool.
We all are.
Rocky Huber is a top fan. He says, I wonder if John has ever seen Bigfoot.
That's, we should talk about the Bigfoot murders up in Humboldt County, California. I actually thought we might get to that today, but...
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Do that another day.
Yeah, the adoption of Crazy Joe kind of upset thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Charles Richardson from The Charles Richardson Show. He called earlier. He's also in the chat room. He says, it isn't a great thing when you start ranking toupees, referring to our William Shatner discussion earlier.
Well, when we're talking about greatness,
Yes.
this is a man that ranks with Laurence Olivier as
Yes.
the ballsiest actor of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike Pelopita also joins us. Mike, of course, from Queen City Cabinetry, one of our great sponsors here at WMNH. Eric Street is a top fan. He says, did you end up seeing the video where the guy accidentally lights the gas station on fire from trying to kill a spider? I forgot to look for it. I need to see that. Scott Robinson, I mentioned, is in the chat room. Abigail Jem joins us. Hello, Abigail. And Jenny, by the way, shared the article of Trump shutting down his new website.
Scott is hot on the tail of a certain UPS driver that shall remain nameless. Oh, yeah. He is the secret UPS driver.
Scott Robinson is asking, is Hoppy going to be in tomorrow also? Well, you're welcome to join us tomorrow. You know, Scott Robinson is a big fan of yours, a big supporter.
If my sister hears that I'm on, she might hit me with a rolling pin.
Oh, my
We do have a rolling pin at my house.
Does your sister not...
She doesn't live at my house, but,
right.
She has egress.
Does she not approve of you being on this program?
It embarrasses her.
Yes. Oh, I understand. Sometimes it embarrasses me.
Thankfully, she does have a different last name.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Let's end it there.
Yes.
I've humiliated her enough, I guess.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Oh, yeah. It all had to do with Mike Doyle, but we won't get into that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Fascinating.
Yeah. That's why you see that Mike Doyle never come on my show. Because of the humiliation of being on my show.
Oh, I see. Wow. Paulie C. also is in the Facebook live chat. Yes. Well, very exciting show today. We learned a lot about, the UFO report could be dropping at any moment.
Hey, where's Gonzo? Has he been abducted?
I haven't seen him yet this week. He was here with you last week, if I remember correctly. Didn't you guys come in together? Yes, Gonzo. But I haven't heard from him
either.
Yeah.
He's unreliable.
Yeah, things got pretty tense last week between the two of you.
Oh, it's a shtick.
I know. Would you like to hear a William Shatner song to play us out?
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds?
Oh, that's a good one.
It is.
That's a good one.
And you're gone. I'll just say that I would give William Shatner, I'd rank him higher than Laurence Olivier, because Olivier never had to act with the handicap of a toupee.
Ah,
yeah, he had a full head of hair.
Right.
Although he did shave it for Marathon now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Christian Lacoste is in the chat room, says he will be in tomorrow as well. Wonderful, wonderful. Perhaps Crazy Joe will call while young Christian is here. You know, they just get along famously.
I thought it was what's-his-face that drives him crazy. Tony.
Oh, Tony D?
Yeah.
Well, that's, I did negotiate a peace deal, a ceasefire, if you will, between Christian Lacoste and Tony D recently. It's my greatest foreign policy achievement, I dare say. Ooh. So the Biden administration wants to send me to Gaza.
Well, yeah, and, you were supposed to go down and be chief of staff for Trump, and you turned that down.
Well, yeah, Scumpy was supposed to help me with that. Well, I don't know what happened.
It's good. You didn't get indicted.
Good point. Good point. Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
All right, well, we will begin to wrap up, John. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Mac.
Yes.
Yes.
Mac Covington.
Mac Covington.
Yes, yes. Thank you to everybody who called today. And if you missed any part of today's show, and of course, if you were streaming online, you did miss the first hour because we were in the midst of an internet upgrade here at the station. So the first hour did not stream, but it is in the archive, which will be up and available in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org, and it'll be at mattconnerton.com as well. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be joined via Skype, Eazy-G by Eazy-G for his entertainment report. Christian will be here with us, presumably in the studio live, and that'll do it for now. Let's see, today is Wednesday, so nothing live right after us. So anyway, all right, so we'll leave you with this. This is we played some William Shatner earlier because of space. We were talking about aliens and whatnot, but this is from The Transformed Man.
Yeah.
Yes. William Shatner performing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And that's it for us for now. We'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.